Marhaban, and welcome back to Pushbox Banter. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Craig.
All right, today we're going to talk about Bahrain.
Yes, we are.
The Bahrain F1 GP.
Yes, F1 GP. It's good stuff.
And all that it implies.
Yes. yes.
All right, guys. So a little bit about Bahrain. Craig, did you know that it is the 187th largest country?
No, I did not. I knew it was pretty small. I knew it was the smallest country in the Middle East.
It is. It's
Yeah.
really one of the smallest. And we looked up how many countries there are, and there are like 195-ish or something.
Yeah,
something like
193. Depends on, certain countries classified it differently.
Right, exactly.
Recognized differently.
Yeah. And like Japan, it's an archipelago.
Yes.
Or archipelago.
Or archipelago.
Archipelago.
Tomato.
Tomato.
Who knows?
Something like that.
Yeah.
In other words, for those that don't know,
For those that can't look this up on Google.
For those that don't understand what I'm saying, it's basically a country made up of small islands,
Yes,
or a bunch of islands, or a cluster of islands.
It's not necessarily a country, but it's a chain of islands.
Chain of islands,
Yes.
exactly. Thanks,
Yes.
Craig.
So, you know how many islands make up the chain? In this case, for Bahrain,
I actually do not.
33. And you know what 33 means?
33. Well, no.
In F1.
Max's old number?
Yes, his old number before he became number one.
That's right. Oh,
So,
wow.
hence,
Foreshadowing.
that's part of why I picked him to win this next weekend.
Wow, that's
in Bahrain.
amazing.
Yes.
I had no idea.
Yeah. So he's going to the land of immortality. The great Yes. It's called the Great Paradise. That's what two of the names that Bahrain's known for.
Interesting that you say that, Craig, because the capital city, Manama, or Manama, is it's actually it's called the place of dreams.
Nice.
So there you go.
Yes.
Very interesting. So Bahrain was home to the ancient Dilmun civilization.
Tolman? Yeah.
Yes, correct. No, with all due respect.
One of those, of course.
Yes. And they were ruled by the Parthians and the Babylonians and the Syrian empires. Colorful history.
They do. It goes back like 4,500 years.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I mean, they're
Samaritans.
referencing like Gilgamesh and all those scripts.
All sorts of stuff. Yeah. Way far back. So
way.
A lot of stuff.
The Wayback Machine. That's right. And it's got a colorful history. It was colonized by Portugal later on, and then
Portuguese.
Yeah, it became a protectorate of the British Empire. So gained its independence in 1971.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
And its flag, which I always thought was really cool looking.
It is pretty cool. Like white with red, and it has like the little zigzag line.
Yeah, so it's actually like 5 triangles that are white, and obviously there's that portion that's white. It's kind of a serration, and the red is the bloodshed that was spilled gaining independence.
That's cool.
Really cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What's the white stand for, I wonder?
I stopped at the bloodshed.
Yeah, the bloodshed gotcha. Yeah, it usually does. Yeah.
But no,
that's pretty cool. So with Bahrain, it's one of the other things that it's known for.
Yeah.
It's like it's known for its pearls. Like
That's right.
It's a huge pearl location. It has been for I don't know how many years. Countless,
yeah.
but probably countable. But but it's called the Island of Pearls because there's so many that are traded there, and they're like high quality and everything.
Right,
So,
right. That's really interesting. Well, the climate is super humid, very harsh. Not a whole lot of animals, but they do have a lot of birds.
Ah, yes.
Yes. They see.
I'm a big birder.
Yes, you are. And this is why I brought this up,
Nice.
because they actually have over 300 bird species.
What?
Yes, which is a whole lot considering there's not a whole lot of vegetation.
Oh, yeah, and it's such a small island chain as well.
Exactly. And that's because I guess a lot of birds migrate, and that's one of their stops. Yeah.
Interesting.
Very, very interesting. And the national bird of Bahrain is the white-eared bulbul again.
Really?
Yeah. So I have really high hopes for Verstappen and Red Bull this coming race because
Yes.
it's all meant to be.
Everything's pointing towards them
The
winning.
colors,
The numbers, everything. Yeah, that's awesome.
the national bird.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah,
I think we have some good stuff.
I think so too.
And then I was curious, like, what is it about Bahrain? Like, what's going on there? Like, what's popping? What's happening? Well, aside from the birds, the fishing
Yeah,
is very good. And according to Reddit, the drivers are really bad. Apparently, there are no rules of the road there. So crashes happen all the time, apparently.
lovely.
And number one thing spoken about on Reddit for Bahrain is just how bad the drivers are and the lack of beaches, apparently.
huh?
Yeah. So if you want to go to a beach in Bahrain, it's a bunch of islands, but they actually have no beaches.
Wow.
So you actually have to become a member and join like a hotel group or something to then be able to access their beaches.
Really, that's
Yeah.
interesting. Some countries they have different laws that are like that. I think Jamaica is one of them where you can buy private property that includes all the beach. So
Yeah.
people bought up all of the beaches for the most part. So there's very limited public beaches in Jamaica, which is crazy to think because it's an island.
I think that's the same thing in Hawaii.
Really?
Yeah. And it's possibly a thing in Puerto Rico because Bad Bunny's recent song was don't let Puerto Rico become Hawaii.
Yeah, that may be.
Mm.
That may
Now
be.
you know.
Yeah.
The more you know.
I know. Yeah.
Well,
to
anyway,
look that up.
do you have anything on?
Well, the other thing, you're talking about birds.
Yeah.
Falconry is really big there.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
in sports, like Bahrain's trying to position itself to be one of the like the sporting capital of that area, or like this tourist destination.
Right.
So, soccer, well, football if you're outside of America, is like the biggest sport there. But F1 is also really big. You've got falconry, which is a big thing. They actually have competitions.
That's amazing.
Yeah, like they say falconry races, and I'm like, races with falcons? So what are they like sending to see how fast they can bring back prey or something? I'm not sure. I'm assuming that's what it is. But then they also have like camel races. They also have like like horse racing is also a huge thing. They have them like every weekend there.
No way.
Yeah, like stands that hold like 10,000 people or so. And then they
Wow.
have like over 200 different breeds of horses that they race.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, yeah. Who knew?
Who
Small
knew?
little island country. All this stuff. Yeah,
Huh.
yeah. So Bahrain, pretty cool
Bahrain?
place.
Pretty cool place.
But all right, Daniel.
yeah.
Let's talk about the race in Bahrain.
Yeah, let's talk about Red Bull. Where were they?
Dude, they were like all over the place this weekend. I was concerned.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was concerned all through quali.
I'm surprised they made it out of Q1.
I am too.
It was wild.
They had so much trouble.
Yep.
Like their car, they were both of them going over track limits, wasting time, everything. I was concerned about it. Somehow they made it through to Q2. Somehow they made it through to Q3.
Three. Yeah, that's right.
I was just like, I was shocked. But hey, both cars did make it to Q3.
That's right. Yeah.
But not like what I expected out of Max Verstappen. I was expecting him to be on pole.
Right. And he wasn't.
He was not. I was a sad person.
That was
after
your
qualifying.
overreaction at the end of the day. It was like,
was.
what? He's going to win
I was so hoping that he would
every
win
race.
every race.
He's going to get pole on every race.
I didn't say pole on every race, so there was still hope for my prediction. But
right.
But
Well,
yeah, he was still like way too far back for hope really to happen. And then during the race, it was kind of rough as well.
Yeah, it sounds like he was having brake issues.
Yeah.
Couldn't turn the car.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty bad. And then he was having issues on the pit lane.
Yeah, he had a couple of different issues. I think the first pit stop, like the traffic is the
light
traffic
wasn't
light didn't
turning
change;
on.
it just
Yeah.
stayed red, and so you like wasted another second or two there.
Exactly.
The second one, I think they had some problems with the right front
Tire wouldn't come off.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, is Red Bull no longer the kings of the pit stops, or what's going on there? Like, what's happening?
They are no longer the kings of the pit stops.
Wow.
Definitely. And I mean, last week my overreaction was for him to win every race. This week my overreaction is that Red Bull It is a disaster there. They're not going to win anymore the rest of the year. It's horrible. Horrible.
That's
heartbreaking.
That is really heartbreaking. But
Yeah.
I don't think you're far off. I don't think they're going to.
It's going to be
might
tough.
be an overreaction, but it might be very legit because I don't know. I think that's a wake-up call. Like, that car is not good.
I know through the whole race, Max was, and in quality, they were complaining about the brakes, and the brakes just weren't working. He couldn't stop, couldn't turn the car very well. He had trouble overtaking. Antonelli overtook on him today at one point.
That, yeah.
But he was able to overtake Gasly right at the end on the last lap and move up one spot. So, and Tsunoda did score points today.
He did, but he was having trouble.
Oh yeah,
I mean, at the back of the field.
He was too, but hey, he did score points. So
He
first
did.
time since last year
He did.
that any of the Red Bull drivers scored points. So.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
that's a positive, but
Yeah.
they're closer, but the delta is because Verstappen's over here in 7th. You know?
Yeah. Well, hey, yeah. At least they scored. Both of them scored points, but I mean, it's still not as many points as they scored last week.
That's
with
true.
Verstappen winning, but yeah, it was. Yeah, it made my Red Bull heart cry.
Your Red Bull heart cry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, it was
and I'm sure
very
it's going to
difficult.
make many Red Bull hearts cry.
Yeah,
I'm surprised there hasn't been a reckoning yet.
really. Well,
Yeah. We've seen it coming all last year.
yeah.
I mean, all last year, even now, like something's got to give. Somebody's, well, I guess in a way it kind of has with Newey leaving and
Yeah, they've had all these
the
people leave.
turbulence over there. So
I mean, in a way, it's kind of stable. Nobody's, well, other than Lawson, nobody's left. But I don't know if he had a choice there.
yeah,
But yeah, I
don't
mean,
know.
some stability. And then, like you talk about, like some of the flexi wing type issues that have come about. And in Barcelona, some of the rules are supposed to change, so they may that may end up being a good place for them to catch up ground.
mean,
But if it's after that, if they don't catch up ground by then, because of this being the last year of this modification,
right.
they may be set for the rest of the year.
I think they might be
That
set
pecking
for the
order,
rest-
yeah, which means that they're like, where does that put them? Does that put them second, third, fourth? Eesh. Disaster for them.
I mean, they're just going backwards, so I don't know.
Yeah.
It seems like every other car is kind of going forward.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, so let's talk about the other cars.
yeah, let's talk about Ferrari. So they came with a floor upgrade.
Yes.
Hamilton-
Made tech talk on F1.
There was a tech talk on it.
So they get the
did you end up
floor
watching?
upgrade. Yeah, watch the floor upgrade stuff. Good stuff. I mean, they had a lot of upgrades on that you could see visibly on the side of the floors, and then also at the very back of the car, they like added a different element.
Like a diffuser or something.
Yeah, a little diffuser there. So who knows what else they added underneath the floor.
Right.
So that was something interesting to look into to see, hey, how are these guys going to do
Right.
come race time?
Well, Hamilton was saying that it was positive, but I don't think it necessarily made them faster. And that's what Leclerc was saying as well, that net positive, but not necessarily quicker.
Well, I mean, it's probably right. I mean,
Yeah.
when they look at the data after the race, I mean, into the race, they did pretty well.
Yeah.
And I think that they definitely closed a gap. I think that you can argue now that it's McLaren, Ferrari, and Mercedes that are, McLaren top.
Mercedes right there.
Mercedes are right there with them. Ferrari's nipping at their heels.
I think if
Maybe?
Mercedes didn't have a real junior driver, it'd be a little closer.
Probably
Considering
so.
Russell's been somewhat consistent all last year and this year, and obviously today, even during quali and the race, right? Like he did really well.
Yeah, qualified second.
Stayed in second,
Stayed in
right?
second, yeah, which was pretty amazing. He had some issues with his car.
That's what I was going to say. It seemed like the race where everyone just had something different going on. What his steering wheel was like about to fall off? No, that's not it.
No.
His transponder.
Yeah, the transponder wasn't working. So any car that was trying to come up behind him and overtake him couldn't tell where he was, so they couldn't engage DRS and definitively know that they're within a second. So they had to make sure that they were.
That's true. And we're filming this like half an hour after the race.
Right.
Right. So there may be changes. Like he may not be in second place.
Right. Because
when this is published.
Yeah, because they were talking about like having some issues with it. So
yeah, I mean,
as of time we were rolling the reel here, he was still in second place.
We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, wow.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to see them up there. I bet Toto's very happy. And Antonelli actually had an okay day. He had a great qualifying.
Yeah.
Had a decent race.
Mm-hmm.
Overtook Verstappen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
that's pretty sweet.
I don't think a lot of drivers, especially junior drivers, can say that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But ended up kind of towards the bottom, 11th.
I think they didn't manage his race very well. They had him pit a little. I don't know all the details, but they had him pit at a time when he came back out. He was in more traffic, just different stuff that some of the race choices that didn't work out well for him.
I think
overall
that was
he raced all right. Yeah,
that was a story for Mercedes, though.
Yeah, that's true. He had Antonelli though. He had a few times where he locked up on some turns, had some people pass. So,
that's
right. It wasn't as great, like a great race out of him. But,
right.
But it wasn't as.
It was a decent weekend, just
decent,
not
just
the best.
Yeah, it could have been better for him. Could have easily been better for him.
Right.
Yeah.
Because Russell was struggling with his softs at the very end.
Which was
24 laps on softs.
Yeah,
or something?
So the first round, like most of the people started on softs, and they made it about somewhere around 13, 15 laps, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so they get a safety car around lap 31, 33, something like that. They most of the people switched to mediums.
That's right.
And Mercedes decides to go with soft at that time. So they still have plenty of laps left.
Yeah.
So he had to nurse those suckers.
Well, he did all right.
They
I think
did well.
one more lap, and he probably would have been caught.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens with him.
He did get caught by Norris, but
well, yeah.
Yeah.
What did you think about the safety car? Was that necessary? Or was that like fabricated for some drama?
I think it was necessary because there was a lot of debris that was on there, like
from the Science
Sonoda incident.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that
it hit the side pod.
It
seemed like it was off. It was off the racing line.
For me.
It kind of did.
Yeah,
it seemed off the racing line. It would have been nice in a way if they'd left it because somebody probably would have punctured the tire. It would have made more drama. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it caused enough drama because obviously you had the issue with Verstappen and his tires. You had the issue with, Russell and everybody just kind of like, oh, crap, what do we do now, right?
Yeah.
So, interesting.
Yeah.
And what about Norris? What did you think? What did you think was going on in his head when he stopped in his grid box a little too far? Do you think he knew?
He probably did because he's got to know. Like, how does he not know?
Yeah.
Like, how do you not know that you stopped too far? And it wasn't like a little bit, like all of his wheels were in front of his grid box and they have lines to where it lines up with the side of their vehicle. So they know exactly
so they can
where they're
see
supposed
the
to
peripheral, right? Like you can kind of see it outside.
Which was funny. They did run some audio with Max Verstappen and he was,
That's right.
and he was almost giggling about it. It was kind of funny to hear Max Verstappen giggle that, Norris was a little bit ahead because he knew it was a penalty.
Yeah, for sure.
And Norris had a great start. I mean, although he was
he killed it.
A few feet in front of everybody, but
went up like 2 or 3.
He went from what was it, 5th or 6th? Yeah, he was 6th place to 3rd. Yeah, it was awesome start.
Yeah,
like for him, that's amazing. He just went right in between everybody.
Considering he usually goes back in his
starts. Usually he doesn't do that great. I was expecting Verstappen to pass him at the start. And Verstappen went back and lost a place or two. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he drove really well. At the end, he passed Leclerc, and I correct myself, I stated this wrong a little bit earlier, but he wasn't able to pass Russell at the end.
Oh, right, exactly. Yeah. Well, he caught him, but he didn't overpass him. Yeah.
He was close.
That's what I was saying.
Close.
One lap, and this would have been a different outcome.
Yeah.
Though, who knows? Again, it might change. It might change. Right?
That's true.
And Piastri. I told you, man. I told you last.
Yeah, you did. You called
week.
it.
I called it.
Mm-hmm.
Piastri's a killer.
He is.
He is going to do it this year. I think everybody just expects Norris to be the number one, even though they're not admitting that at McLaren. But Piastri's the guy. Like, if he puts his head down, I think he can lead the championship probably in the next race and take this championship to the end. That's my opinion.
I think you're right.
Consistent.
I think every race he gets better, and he's consistent. When he does make a mistake, it's usually small mistakes, and it's usually when he's behind in dirty air.
Right.
If he's out in front, I mean, he's just going to knock it down.
That's
man.
right.
There's nothing that's going to hold him back, and I think that
except his team.
Except his team giving him team orders. But I think that he's so freaking competitive. Like, he's real calm and everything, but I think he's incredibly competitive, and I don't think he's going to want Norris out in front. And if he has a chance to be in front of Norris, he is going to take it and hold it every second that he possibly can.
That's right.
He won't give it up. Norris, I think, Norris is really good, but you always hear him griping and complaining.
Always
he always tries to pass and
they didn't leave me space. Or,
there's always an excuse.
Yeah,
and Piastri, it's just like, so what?
He's at
he doesn't
the guy
deal
who
in
looks
excuses.
like your accountant, but like will kill it.
Yeah,
and like that's incredible.
Yeah,
very nice.
Yeah, McLaren, their car looks great. I
mean, what was it? 15 seconds? No, 20 seconds.
Gosh,
15 seconds to second place. That's incredible. Like, how do you make that up?
And that's with the safety car, like in the lap 30. So everybody's like bunched up.
Yes,
so from lap 30 to 57,
exactly,
or 33 to 57.
It could have been 25, 30 seconds, even more.
Yeah.
The
guy was. I mean,
unstoppable.
Yeah, it was great. Definitely the best driver out there today, and the best car.
For sure, the best car.
Norris's move, and then his continual moves up the grid the whole race and staying there. Yeah, they're on top of it. I mean, Mercedes and Ferrari, though, they're getting close.
Yeah.
I mean, Leclerc fought Norris off really well. He had a different tire choice, which I thought was somewhat questionable. That they went medium, hard. I
don't know,
guys. Like,
but that's to be expected.
But like
from Ferrari at least.
Why they did that choice when? I mean, to me, it's a questionable move for that, because they put themselves into where that last safety car they had to go with hard because they had used the two mediums beforehand, so they had to make to go with a different compound.
Yeah.
So it forced their hand.
But you also don't count on a safety car. So I mean.
Exactly. But that there's a good chance of it. So you set yourself up for that. You set yourself up for that possibility. And the data, I don't know if the data really shows that that's the way that they should have gone.
You would have gone,
it turned out well,
medium,
right,
hard, softs?
Potentially, yes. Or medium, hard, medium.
Nice.
Or hard, medium, hard.
Exactly.
I would have gone medium, hard, medium is what I would have done.
Yeah.
But that, I mean, it turned out well for Hamilton. He went from 9th to 5th. We got driver of the day.
Driver of the day.
And he had some nice overtakes too. He had some throughout the race.
Leclerc, he went up the field quickly,
Leclerc did really well. I mean, he stayed in, he was in 3rd, he ended up losing that position, but he still drove really well.
Yeah.
And I'll think, like, looking at where their car was last week to where it was this week, I thought they made some nice improvements.
Yeah.
So,
and they're better.
and Fosse are probably a little bit happier.
I think they're happy because they have two drivers they can count on.
Yeah.
Whereas Mercedes, you got Russell and Antonelli. Yes, you can count on him, but not really. Not yet.
Yeah, not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah, he has some flashes of brilliance, like you can see. But,
right.
But then there's other times where he's still learning.
Yeah, he's still learning.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about the back of the field. A couple takeaways. Haas.
Yeah.
Both drivers in the points. What'd you think about that?
I thought that was really good for them. I think that's for them to come in like that. I think Ocon, he had he had a little accident in Q2, and then Behrman he started at the end at the back of the grid, 20th, moved up to 10th. Freaking awesome.
And 8th. Oh wait,
was
no,
he
10th.
Yeah,
10th. That's right. 8th was Ocon.
Yeah. So
wow.
I was shocked at that. Like all throughout the race, he's making passes, he's making moves. Like there were others that that would overtake him, but he was always coming back and making some strong moves. Like at the very start of the race, I think he moved up like 5 spots.
Yep.
So, he's driving well.
Do you
Driving
think
really
that,
well.
Yeah. Do you think there's going to be some problems there with Ocon and Behrman?
I think anybody that you put with Ocon will have problems with. That's my opinion.
That's exactly what I think too.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is with the guy. When he's on interviews or whatever, he seems like he's a pretty cool guy.
Yeah, he seems like a nice guy.
But everybody that ever works with him doesn't get along with him.
Yeah.
And he ends up going somewhere. So I think there's something there. And I think, too, like, he probably came in thinking that he's the number one guy, no doubt about it. And Behrman tends to drive better than him. Now, this weekend, maybe you could argue differently, but the guy can drive.
Our data is three races, right? So we can't really say that. But
maybe 4. If you want to count last year. But yeah.
That's true. But you're right. I think he's fiercely competitive, and he's not going to want, especially a young rookie, to overshadow him so quickly. But I think that's what's going to happen.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I mean, I think too, like Ocon's looking at it and like, okay, well, he was like, 12th or whatever in F2 last year. So how good is this guy? Well, he's pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good. I mean, he is half bear, half man. Yeah, for all of you guys out there, Daniel has wanted to use that, but I beat him to
it. He's a bear man.
Yes, he's a bear man.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, what about Jack Doohan?
Yes.
I know we were talking about him last week, and
he's a fan of the show.
Yeah.
He doesn't know it, but he is.
Probably not.
No, he would be, I guarantee.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. So, he's come in. We know he's a little bit on the rocks with the team and under pressure. Last week, Calapinto was seen in Monza testing the car. Yeah. What do you think? He did pretty decent.
He had good qualities. He had, he looked good. I mean, he didn't have any 50G accidents this week,
true.
Which is always positive.
Yeah.
His car stayed in one piece.
In the first part of quali, he was looking great.
Yeah.
He was looking really, really good. I think he's showing like bits of little bits of brilliance here and there in terms of like one lap pace.
Right.
Just randomly. I think he just needs some consistency and like to get his mind right.
Yeah. Yeah.
He'll be all right.
Now, this is a track that he has raced at before, and he's had success at different levels. So he did well in quali. I think he was 11th in quali, which is, I mean, for him, that's awesome compared to where he's been the past couple of weeks. Into the race, I think what he was 13th, 15th,
13th, and I think he got a penalty too. So so exactly, I'm not sure. I think probably 15th end of day.
Yeah. So I mean, not the direction that he wanted to go, but at the same time, like, it's not a bad result for him.
Yeah, not a bad result.
Now his running mate Gasly did really well. Ended up getting some points. I think he came in somewhere. Just Verstappen passed him on the last lap.
7th. So, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but he did well.
Hey, Gasly's
had a great quality.
Gasly's awesome.
Yeah, so that car's looking a little bit better.
Yeah.
So
we'll see.
Yeah, good stuff. Antonelli, we already talked about him, but his day was meh. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, weekend, but could have been better.
Carlos Sainz, did he make it to the national anthem in time this week?
I think so. Yeah. But how things turned out for him, maybe he should have been late.
As he say, shit happens.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. Well,
yeah.
Overall, it was a really good race.
Much more exciting than last week.
Yeah,
Way
last week was a bit of a bore, but I think we had a good one. Lots of overtakes, safety car. I mean,
yeah.
Decent.
Yeah. It was a quality race to watch.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff throughout. Yeah.
The championships now changed a little bit. We have Lando, a couple of points down, Piastri, Verstappen. So
yeah.
I think they're gonna be finding it out. It'll be Lando, Piastri. But I think Piastri's going to take it.
It's going to be fun.
We'll see.
I hope so. I hope he starts putting some pressure on Norris.
Yeah.
Makes it a little bit more drama over there for him.
For sure. For sure. So next week we have Saudi Arabia.
Yes, we do. Saudi Arabia.
What are your predictions for Saudi?
So my predictions for Saudi Arabia, I mean, my overreaction from last week was for Verstappen to win every race, but this week my overreaction is for him not to win any more races. So he's not going to win in Saudi Arabia. I think that we're going to see Piastri, Norris, and Russell. I think they're going to be on the podium again. That order.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Piastri, Russell, Hamilton.
Ooh, nice.
Hamilton's got to go up there, man.
I hope that he does.
I want to see him up there, so we'll see.
I'm pulling for him. Yeah.
All right. Well, you guys know what to do.
Yes.
Like, subscribe, comment, follow.
Yeah.
Shoot us a message, a DM.
Yeah.
Whatever you want.
Yeah. Definitely, guys.
Well, that's all we have. Craig, thank you so much.
Thank you, Daniel.
Yeah.
All right.
You're welcome.